The doubling guitar. I forgot how great Tesla was.
And the high vocals.
The USA! The USA!
Welcome to this episode of the Cool Dad Shirt Podcast. Well, welcome to Monday, Memorial Day, 2024.
Yeah, a day to reflect on all the people who have passed defending this country. Big thanks to them and their families.
So I've already been advised by our show assistant that your show prep is a little light today.
Yes.
So I'm going to do what I can to fill in those gaps, Rich.
There was a last-minute review of the Post-it note, and it was coming up lacking.
They thought there was an error because there was nothing written on the 3x5. It's been a really busy weekend for me and a lot of family-related stuff, a lot of family-related stories.
That's sometimes how it goes, and that's maybe where we are. I can break up your family stories with one of mine, and so we'll jump into how we replaced a headlight on my daughter's car. Go ahead. What do you got?
All right, since you only have one, we'll save that.
It'll be the mid-show break.
Yeah. I'm going to slot you in for number 3. So as you know, it was Jenna's birthday last week, and I'll edit the story a little bit. We stopped at the John Bon Jovi rest stop off the Garden State and ate at Shake Shack. They got them all named. I think it was either the John Bon Jovi or the Judy Blume. They had both their pictures hanging up everywhere. Okay. We stopped there and we got Shake Shack.
Not a bad way to spend it. You didn't by chance see John or Judy, did you?
We looked at his picture right next to the men's room.
The Judys go here, the Johns go there. Is that the?
They got Judy by the ladies' room and John's full-size portrait by the men's room.
Oh man, is there anything that guy can't do?
And as you know, my other daughter Mia, she has her permit, so she's been driving a little bit. Mm-hmm. And she's more of the independent type of kid. You know, Jenna, again, very conservative, very safe, going places with her and her permit from the parents' position in the passenger seat. It was a little more comforting, yes, knowing that she's already on the cautious side. You could focus more on just general instruction. Okay, don't oversteer here. We want to put our blinker on this far in advance. Mia is a bit more of a grip and rip type driver. With a very high level of confidence. You don't need to tell me how to drive, Dad. I've been driving for a month and a half now.
I'm coming in at like 32 days, Dad.
So we're in the car the other day. She gets in the thing and, starts it up and then immediately has that thing in reverse coming out of the driveway. I don't even know if I have my door closed yet. And she's already backing out. So now we get out, we get backed up. And sometimes there's a bit of a delay when you shift from reverse into drive and the camera doesn't go off. So as she comes to a stop in reverse and goes to put the car in drive, she notices the reverse camera doesn't go off. So now she's shifting back and forth rapidly, reverse drive, reverse drive, reverse drive. My brain shot out of one side of my head and my skeleton completely shot out from under my skin. My whole life flashed in front of me, and all I saw was the transmission pieces just crumbling onto the road underneath us.
She annihilated a transmission faster than the camera could turn off. Good Lord.
Camera couldn't even shut off. The transmission was already blown and on the ground.
Holy cow.
Tried to calmly explain that we definitely can't do that. Transmissions are very, very expensive. Yes. Rear view cameras are much cheaper. That was our driving lesson this week.
Yeah, you might have to skip a semester of college after that.
Yeah, and then based on her good nature, she said, well, I worked out. I'll pay for it.
Okay, all right. Well, at least you got that going for you.
Yes, I thanked her, but I said, let's try to avoid the whole repair.
Speaking of car repairs, that's a perfect segue. We had Kelsey's car needed a headlight. And I said, those actually in modern cars aren't too bad. You remember the old days, the entire container, the entire assembly had to come out. It was a major ordeal involving lots of screws in the housing. That's the word I was looking for, to take it out. Nowadays, it's usually just a quarter turn of a bulb that goes in. But the tricky part is always kind of getting to it. So I said, all right, what everybody does, you just go watch YouTube and you will see. We dialed in her car. We looked right at it. Didn't look too bad. We watched the guy go in, he picked it up and showed, on the driver's side, you just reach here, you take the cap off, you pull it out quarter turn, plug it back in, piece of cake. So we go outside and she's actually, I was getting ready to speak to her about, maybe leaving dishes in the sink or whatever. Then she torpedoes. She has a real knack for this. Like, hey, Dad, I want to learn how to fix my car. Okay, let's do it. It totally distracted me. So it was great. We went outside and we started working on it. We opened the hood. I showed her how to unlatch everything, set stuff up, pull the thing apart. We take the light. She pulls the light out. She's doing it entirely herself. And as she's about to put the new light in, she said, the broken light is on the passenger side. Oh, crap. I said, all right, well, you learned how to do it then. Yeah. So we had a nice laugh. I think it's because we just watched the video of the driver's side. We just replicated the video, not actually repairing the bulb that needed to be repaired. Turns out the passenger side is an ordeal. Holy cow. There's hardwired line, little piping lines going right above it. And the guy's like, you can take apart the coolant reservoir. If you can kind of get it out, you sort of set it over here. We started to do that. What an ordeal that was. The second option is to pull the tabs from under the wheel well and pull it back and reach up from underneath. So she got to learn that even just a quick bulb change sometimes can be a little bit more involved. But we got it done. She was very proud. We got it up and running, and for $20-something, we had back in business. So it was a great learning experience, great bonding experience. And I had some laughs at not paying enough attention.
Which route did you take? Wheel well or engine?
Oh, we went wheel well. No. Yeah. Well, the reservoir we unfastened it, but the hoses, there's a hose at the bottom and the top. It was extremely difficult to maneuver out of the way. We just could not get enough space in there. So the wheel well is the way we went.
Nice. What a great experience with your daughter too, right?
It was fun, actually. We, at the end, we high-fived each other. We were very proud of the work we did. She learned something, and it was all good. She paid for it herself. So there's a good lesson here. You can fix a lot of things yourself for not a lot of money.
Should I go on to the next topic, Rich?
I think you should.
I saw you looking down. I didn't know if you were writing content on the fly.
I am grasping for straws.
I woke up this morning and there was a cry from my daughter. There was one of those giant mosquitoes in her room. You know, the ones that are like the size of like a hummingbird. Yes. There's one of those in there bouncing off the walls. I had to go smash it.
The big ones actually don't bite you. I believe they're the males.
Well, this thing was giant.
Yeah.
And of course, on the ceiling the entire time, which involved some sort of step stool.
I was a landlord for a period of time. We lived upstairs, and downstairs we had 3 graduate students from Taiwan. And they paid on time. They were quiet. They were clean. Everything you wanted as a landlord, they were in a tenant. So overall, it was pretty good. I do recall one time I was living in Albany. It was Upper Washington Street, kind of toward the State University. So it was the safer end of Washington Avenue. But we were in the city of Albany, and I recall one evening screaming, girls screaming, very concerned. Something is happening. I run down the stairs. I pound on the door. What's going on? They are losing their mind. So now I think somebody's broken in. What is going on? I actually open the door and walk into the kitchen, and you know what it was? It was a moth. I said, seriously?
You were there to save the day with your baseball bat.
Yes.
You're like, had I known, I would have come down with the tennis racket, not the baseball bat.
And I said, that kind of feels like an overreaction. And they're like, you don't understand. I said, you're from Taiwan. Isn't that a tropic? You must see. But they're like, we live in a high rise. We never see stuff like this.
Did they?
I gently opened the window. It flew out.
Did they not know what a moth was? That way they were more fearful, or was it because they fly so erratically?
I couldn't tell you why that reaction was that reaction, but there was 3 of them losing their minds. And I was the hero that day.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I don't know. My daughter was pretty freaked out by the mosquito, so I don't know what it is. My dad took a fall this weekend, so we spent some time. Yeah, we spent some time he's doing okay. He has rather thin skin, so even if he rubs his skin hard against the surface, it will tear. Almost like the skin of an onion, how you peel it off. Mm-hmm. And because it's not an actual cut, once it tears, the healing process takes a long time for all that new skin to grow over it. So he was on our back deck. We were going to have some dinner. So I said, just wait a second, let me go inside, put the stuff down, and then I'll come on back and help you in. I came in the house, And as I turned around out of the corner of my eye, I saw him falling face forward into the side of the house.
Oh.
And we went out there and got him up, and he was bleeding a lot.
Oh, no.
We wound up bringing him to like an urgent care center, and they took a quick look at him and said that he's probably better off going to the hospital. So we brought him to the hospital, and
wow.
He was all treated and taken care of there.
On the mend now, though?
He's on the mend now. It looks like, I tell him he looks like an NBA player now because he's wrapped from like his shoulder down to his wrist in white gauze. And I said, you look like an NBA player with those compression sleeves on.
That's right. Yeah, this is tough. As our parents age, my mother is wrestling with some osteoporosis. Got it under control, but it has to a lot of lifestyle changes of, you spend your entire life, bending over and picking things up quickly or lifting a mattress. It just, you've spent all your life doing these things and you just can't do stuff like that anymore. And once you kind of retrain your brain, she's doing pretty well with it these days. But yeah, it's a major life change for sure.
Yeah. The thing which I believe we spoke about before is something that I struggle with a lot. My dad is not super interested in taking good care of himself. So it becomes a bit of a frustration because you're spending a lot of time and energy trying to care for someone who is not always taking as much care of themselves as they should be or you hope them to be. Yeah. Even at the emergency room, they were really strongly encouraging him to spend the night for observation, and he declined.
It's a tough thing, yeah. As we navigate through life. These are new challenges for sure. Yep.
So on a more positive, brighter note, let me know if this was a stage you went through with your daughters. We now have reached the $200 grocery bill on oats and seeds. Did you guys go through that stage? My older daughter, no. My younger daughter is oats, seeds, avocados, multigrain toast. That's where we're at.
Not quite that specific, but it is funny to watch the trends and the buying behavior of young people. Yes.
So funny. It seems like just yesterday, we're eating Fruit Loops and Pop-Tarts, and now we've switched. It's like cucumber water. I'll have some avocado toast.
At least it's trending healthy. I mean, despite the expense, it's moving in the right health direction, right?
Yeah. And I say that all the time. I'm like, why does good food and good health come at such a high cost? Yeah. We're talking seeds here. $200.
Well, I'm getting to the point now where when I'm doing some shopping, it's just kind of never good enough. I recently just handed the credit card and just said, can you just go buy your own stuff? I struggle too much to figure out what's going on with you. We buy things that don't get eaten, and same thing. It's just, I'm going to put the responsibility on you.
I have to throttle it though, because
that would work in your house.
She would. Yeah. I mean, we got to keep it down. Otherwise she would come back with
go bananas, so to speak.
A lot of very exotic items,
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
What do you mean this tiny bottle of honey was $30?
It's super extra organic.
These bees were raised in a climate controlled environment and fed organically grown plants.
That's right.
Esquire raves.
The Cool Dad Shirt podcast is marginally entertaining, sometimes funny, and strangely appealing to hot moms.
I had some toothpaste on my shirt the other day.
Yeah.
And no one informed me. So I went around for a couple hours out and about with a big thing of toothpaste on my black shirt that I didn't even know.
You talk to people, and I think 100% of people want to be told, and then 97% of people won't tell that person. We've got a problem here.
I don't want to embarrass them.
Instead, we're going to vote for an entire day of embarrassment.
Yeah. Oh, I'd tell them, but I don't want to embarrass them. Maybe they'll discover on their own. And then think no one for the last 7 hours noticed.
That's right.
We watched a bit of the HG channel, and one thing that always makes me laugh is the real estate agent showing this young couple a house and their budget's $850,000, and they lead with, "She's a part-time daycare worker."
Yes.
He's a musician. Their budget's $850,000.
It's absurd. I think that's even a meme now. It's there's way more to that story.
It's ridiculous. All lies, Rich. Fake
All
news.
lies, yes.
Fake news.
Fake news for sure.
So that's the end of my Post-it note, which I guess means we're out of time.
Yeah, what else? I got a little piece of music trivia. I don't know if it really fits into the rest of the show, but
Yeah, lay it on us.
who was another non sequitur? Who was the first person to have a Billboard #1 hit without a record label?
This is a good one. And you've already given me a bit of a clue because you said person.
It is a person. I will tell you, it's a woman who I had a huge crush on in the early '90s, early to mid '90s.
Wow.
You may not know who that was, but we lived together around this time.
Yeah, we did. We did, as a matter of fact.
I can give more hints if.
Okay, so I don't want to. Yeah, I can't sit here with dead air. So
Okay,
but so far we have. It's a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Mid '90s, early '90s.
I think it was right around '94 when the hit was big.
Okay, so that would be the tail end of the grunge era, but
And
still rock in the rock genre.
There was a reason she was able to do it without a music label. There was another conduit to get her there.
And she had a #1 hit.
Yeah. Yep.
Great question, Rich. I think you're going to just have to tell me.
It was Lisa Loeb with her big hit, Stay. It was in the movie Reality Bites. Remember Ben Stiller and Ethan Hawke? Winona Ryder.
I should have guessed this, Lisa Loeb. Yeah.
I think she invented the whole nerdy hot kind of look.
She did.
Yeah, I had a major crush on Lisa Loeb.
She had the nerdy hot. And who was the other one? Yeah, that nerdy hot look. The VJ on MTV, Kennedy, had a bit of that nerdy hot look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lisa Loeb. She, I think, even had a show about wanting to find someone to date, Rich.
Really?
I thought she might have.
Maybe. Oh, I'm not a very good stalker then. It seems like I should know that.
Yeah, I thought later on she had like another show about, we're going to have to fact check that one, but I thought she had a show or talking about dating or was trying to find a date.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, good old Lisa Loeb.
I think she launched her own line of glass frames in 2010, I thought I read, because that was
makes
kind of
sense.
her signature style. Yeah.
And speaking of music, Darius Rucker is going to be on the Today Show tomorrow.
Oh my! Too bad I have to be at work.
You might have to go in late tomorrow.
I believe he's coming to Saratoga this summer with the rest of the Blowfish.
I know you won't be there, so
No, maybe.
I have a great Wiley story about SPAC, and I've been waiting for him to come on the show to tell it.
We'll get his version when he's.
This was when we were all living together. He always claimed that he knows people working at SPAC. So let's just go up there. I forgot what show it was, but he said, let's head up. We'll be able to get in. The next thing I know, fast forward, Wiley's walking through the woods and we're climbing over a fence.
Because of all the people he knows.
He's like, oh yeah, let's head up to SPAC. I know so many people. I'm sure they're working tonight. They'll just let us in. Give me a boost. That's the next thing.
Boost.
He'll admit to it. He won't deny it.
Did you get in?
Yeah, we had to climb the fence and then we got in. Yeah.
Sure. You saw the show. I mean, one way or another, you got there. Okay.
A couple scrapes and bruises, but we saw the show.
Nice. Yeah, my new favorite thing, I've been, my buddy Lance, not Armstrong, another cyclist named Lance, my good friend. We've got this running tradition already. We're going into week 4 of what we call Friday Night Bikes, where we ride through Saratoga Spa State Park each Friday afternoon, and that is a blast. And we get to hear the sound check for bands playing that night, and it's become a lot of fun.
Yeah, it sounds like a good time. And for the audience, these are bicycles, not motorcycles.
I'm not quite that cool. No, this is.
You sound like a real tough gang. Friday Night Bikes.
That does.
You're revving the engine obnoxiously through the streets of Saratoga, terrorizing the women and children, trying to have a nice Caesar salad, a chicken Caesar salad on the sidewalk of Saratoga. Fumes and volume overpower the streets.
Wow, I didn't even realize how. Yeah, no, we're cycling through the woods.
People are like, it's 6:30. It's Friday Night Bikes. Everybody inside.
Everybody inside. Is that the guy from the Cool Dad Shirt podcast?
No, these are bicycles, which is just as cool.
Maybe not just as cool, but it's
Pretty
a lot of
cool.
fun. Yeah.
It would be awesome if you guys got like vests and had that embroidered in the back that said like Friday Night Bikes.
I'm pretty sure we'd get mocked for that.
Something to consider, Rich.
We'll
The
look into it.
Cool Dad Shirt podcast will sponsor.
That's
Especially since it's only 2 shirts.
That's right.
It's
Actually,
certainly in our
that's within
budget.
our budget.
We get some new members. They start paying dues. We could get some fancier merchandise.
That's how you start, man.
Got to get the merch.
It's all about the merch. We need merch. I was mowing the lawn the other day, and I got that stupid jingle stuck in my head. Rock 95.5 Thursday. I couldn't make it leave. And the song's only like 20 seconds long. It just kept playing over and over in my head. It's an addictive jingle.
To which she has not replied to our
No.
message, nor will she.
No. I'm sure her inbox is jammed full of other things.
You mentioned lawnmower. Sounds like your gas-powered mower is still running.
It's running better than ever. It's I'm not going electric till maybe 2027.
Have you ever thought about just selling it for like $25? Or at this point, you would
I
feel
guess.
bad since it hasn't had oil for so long.
And in full disclosure, I've been abusing this machine for years. Well, then the neighbor across the street has a brand new battery-driven one. It's so quiet. I was like, geez, that is pretty nice.
It is really quiet.
You wear hearing protection when you mow?
Most of the time,
Yeah.
I do. And the leaf blower is really obnoxious. That one's strapped right up on your back too, up high.
Yeah.
So that one's really loud.
Well, that's not just the motor noise. That's also the high volume of air gushing through it. So
Yeah, the electric stuff, as we discussed, is really come a long way. So,
and you can fill the tank in your house without having to run down to the store. And in the case of a weed whacker, mixing the oil and the 2-stroke oil with the gasoline and all the messy fun that is.
yeah, I'm not a baller, but I buy the pre-mixed stuff from Home Depot for that because it's such a mess.
Yeah.
Mixing the oil and the gas, and then you got to measure it, make sure you have the right ratio. Otherwise, the weed whacker starts burning a little too rich and doesn't run good. I just buy, it's like that bright red fuel, which burns very clean and it doesn't make a mess. So I just spend the extra money on that. And that powers my blower and the weed whacker.
Nice.
You know, when you got it, you don't second guess purchases like that.
That's right. You just make it happen.
You don't even look at the price. I got some new snare wires for my Tama, so I got to put those on it. My wife, she's like such a ball buster, right? As you know, I was really excited when that snare came.
Oh, yeah. And Nancy was super cool about
She was super cool.
She hit it for you, right?
Yeah. Snare wires break, regularly. So I mentioned the other day, I said, oh, yeah, by the way, I got some snare wires I ordered. So if you see a little package in the mail, just let me know or bring it in. I don't know how she worded it, but it was something like the snare wires broke on that snare of yours. It must be a real crappy snare. Yeah, maybe
You should get your money back.
made me feel sad. I was like, that's a great snare drum. Well, it must be a crappy snare.
Can't even keep the wires intact.
Yeah. I don't think crappy was the word she used, but for the show, I'm going to say it was crappy.
It's a family show here.
But it did make me giggle. And she didn't really mean it.
No. That's how Nancy rolls. Yeah.
I guess on that note, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. I'm not 100% sure I used the word zeitgeist correctly. And definitely don't ask me how to spell that.